Hello and welcome to Friday the 13th. Welcome to Purge Day. Hello and welcome. And hopefully, this would be my only Purge Day video. But we're here because bullshit happened. I'm not sorry for those who I gave anxiety text to because they were anticipating what was going to be in this video. That just sounds like a guilty conscience to me. Anyway, we are gathered here today to allow me to receive dump on the people who belong with the rest of the trash that I have accumulated. My words have been twisted. I've been called a liar. So here we are for the truth. I would like to begin with Mr. Hollow. Those who know him also are familiar with the incident that had happened. If you don't, we'll talk about it here. So we'll call you Mr. Hollow, just like your personality. Now, I was a viewer and a moderator for you for about 3 years. Sadly, your career ended after your 24-hour stream. Before then, I think you were doing great. I sadly enjoyed your content, but not anymore. Obviously, for obvious reasons. During your 24-hour stream, all your mods and I myself worked very hard for that stream to be a success. Unfortunately, it was your end. After that stream, your ex that you have been seeing regularly mention that you have been sexting multiple people in the community and even some minors. A minor specifically that she told me herself, I don't want him to get in trouble. A minor that you had said you had no clue what her age was, even though it was clearly stated on her Instagram, which I don't want to reveal. I want her Instagram to be kept away because I do want her to move on from this. I had messaged that minor and had a conversation about her and your situation. She had mentioned that she didn't know about your age. She thought you were 22, even though you were 27 at the time. You, on the other hand, don't have that same advantage. Her Instagram clearly had stated what year she graduated, and she didn't graduate yet. She was graduating in 2024 or 2025, one of those. And you were having sexual conversations with her during that same time. Now she mentions 2 years. You guys were dating. What else can I say about that? That came out. You mentioned that you talked to her mom. Her mom had no clue about you. And we messaged her. We talked to her, and she was upset about the entire situation. She didn't know. She didn't know at all. And what troubled me the most about this entire situation is that she wasn't the only minor that you had talked to. So this isn't your first time talking to somebody like that. Initially you had a different minor that you actually had more intimate time with. But in your previous job, you had to leave because of the situation. You weren't fired because they didn't want to get legal with it. You had to leave. And this was confirmed by your ex and even your best friend, who both knew about the situation. And you're probably wondering, why mention all this again? Well, it's because the people who left your community because of this shat on your name after finding out and seeing the receipts. They were furious, had no clue what to do after. So I invited them to my server and another person's Discord server so they can vent all they'd like about it. Especially after the sad apology video that you think. They were furious. They had no clue what to do after. And for a while, it was quiet. There was no mention of you. Everybody was doing their own thing. School, work. was silent until I caught wind that you were streaming again. Curious, I took a peek to where I saw the same people talking shit about you, praising your return. Disgusted, I left that video and kicked them from my Discord. I didn't want any part of anyone who supported you in my Discord. I didn't feel it was right. I didn't feel like they should stay. If they wanted to go support you, they can go support you. A couple of them messaged me asking why I kicked them. I didn't want anything to do with you. I had a bunch of people message me, call me a liar, that you never did all of those things. You never messed with minors, even though I have multiple receipts to say you did. I had multiple people confirm that you did. And the fact that there's multiple occurrences should have been a red flag for them. It was a red flag for me. So it made me think why they would think I'm a liar and then continue to support you. I don't know what you've told them. I don't know. But now they want to turn around and call me a liar. So no, however you spend it, I want nothing to do with it. You can go fuck yourself. You can fuck those who want to be by your side. I don't care. Don't contact me. Don't follow me. I want nothing to do with you. Moving on to more recent tea, or you had called it spicy tea. Kingsty and Dylan. Now I'm gonna name you by names because y'all already know about the situation. We went through this already. But you're probably wondering, why bring it up now? We'll talk about it. So we'll start with Kingsty, since you are the reason of the spicy tea to start with. You were dating the love of my life, Savvy. And yes, I mean dated. So according to you, you mentioned it was a very open relationship. So I don't know how open you were on your part, but Savvy was all about you. She was so into you. She used to message me all the time about how sweet you were, the music you guys were sharing between each other. And I was happy for her. Honestly, I was. The main thing I told her, though, is that if you were to break your heart, I'd break your legs. Obviously, an empty threat. Granted the distance. But Savvy is my wife. I will protect her whenever you decide you wanted to give up. And you did. You gave up on the relationship. You said you couldn't handle it because of distance. You tried to soften the blow, and you decided to date someone soon after. Regardless. So, Savvy was upset with the situation. She came into my stream. She was sad and heartbroken, and she just wanted to vent. And my streams will be, and forever will be, her safe space. So she came in. She mentioned how she wants to vent. I said, please, feel free. Just out of respect, don't mention the name. She vented a little bit, and for those who wanted to know more about it, she DM'd him out of respect for you. She DM'd him about the situation. And your name wasn't mentioned until we talked about TikTok. Soon after you came in, you decided to bash her and say very inappropriate things about her. I had welcomed you to come into stream. Okay. So you decided to come into stream after your TikTok was mentioned. And you came in lurking to see how the situation was. I want to show everybody. I want to show everyone what was mentioned before. We're talking about alcohol. We're talking about us supporting our friend. And then that's when your TikTok was mentioned. And then soon after, you came in and she mentions me to block you out of my stream. Now, I believe there's two sides to every story. So my intention was to message you after and, kind of see how everything is. you decided to take it further. And you said some really appalling things. You came in talking about, and misspelling terribly, who fucks someone as they're talking to someone? Again, weren't you guys in an open relationship? So why would that matter? And yet again, she was all about you. She wasn't even talking to anybody else. The fact that you called her a liar about being sexually harassed, about someone who's been SA'd, that's not okay at all. You broke up with her, so why are you so mad? Why are you here angry for nothing? Calling us dumb and calling her a whore. Now me, I don't care. You can call me dumb for all you like. But you come in and attack her like that. That was extremely inappropriate. I had a guest over. We were playing a game together. And for you to come in and attack somebody who is at their safe space was unacceptable. I allowed you to speak. I didn't block you right away. I blocked you after obvious reasons. For me knowing that you're a moderator of Dylan's, I'd assume it would be a less violent approach since you basically represent Dylan. I mentioned after how unprofessional that was, and that I'd mentioned to Dylan later to, yes, quote, control your mod, because that was extremely disrespectful. I tell everybody in my community, do not attack somebody like that. And honestly, they wanted to right after. They wanted to hop into Dylan's stream and mention how inappropriate that was. But I had let them know, out of respect, do not do that. We are not them. We're not that in general. You're going to respect other streamers' streams as you would like yours. So we all knew not to message, not to go in to Dylan's stream and bash you too. We're not that people. So I wanted to message Dylan later about the whole situation, and hopefully he can talk to you about it, since you immediately went on and blocked everybody else. After my stream, after blocking a couple people, he kept coming in from Dylan's stream, which I assume were moderators. I was told that Dylan had blocked us from his stream, or at least I had thought the mods had blocked us. Now we know it was Dylan himself. I'd like to go into Dylan's thing. As a content creator, I respect you, and yes, you have every right to block whoever you see is not fit for your community. But when it comes to an issue that needed to be resolved, that was very high school of you. You pretended it was above you, even though all you did was talk about the situation, and not in a great way. Now, you knew about the relationship between Savvy and Stee. Did say around the lines of fuck men and fuck Stee kind of deal on your streams, which she did apologize. She did reach out and apologize that she was very intoxicated and very angry. I was kind of surprised about your response to it, though. You didn't respond as I expected. Your response about the situation was very different. You knew that they broke up, and she said, I'm sorry. You knew that they broke up ahead of time. She told you after that he came into the stream. She told you that Steve came into the stream, gave her an anxiety attack, and she was sorry about what she had said. Your response to it is, yeah, you are handling this. You aren't handling this well. This looks bad on you because you are retaliating. That was your only response to it. Not, Steve shouldn't have, or we'll take care of it. You kind of just went, yeah, that's on you, bro. And called it a day. Which, again, didn't seem like a professional side for me. But she still was the bigger person to let you know and apologize, because that's what you do. I honestly was surprised that you responded like that. But even after all of this had happened, you and the rest of the mods had ran to Twitter to talk about what maturity looks like. None of you know what that looks like. You were still fresh out of high school and or college and have no clue what an adult situation is or how to handle one. You tweet about the issue like it's a soapbox and that you need to write about it in your diary instead of settling it as you should. I tried messaging out. You blocked me almost instantly, and I tweeted back. A couple of you had messaged about maturity. A couple of you had messaged about keeping personal information personal, which we all knew that was about the situation. So I showed you exactly what your mod had done and sent the messages that were streamed on my stream. And then in the end of all of it, all your tweets and pettiness, one of your mods had messaged, GG, you won this one, like it was a game. It wasn't a game to begin with. I'm trying to have a conversation, and you guys made it into a fucking game. I'm not playing the game. I'm trying to talk to you. Now, that was done and over with too, and a couple of months had passed, and here you go with your unbanned request stream that I was told was happening. I remembered that I had sent you an unbanned request, wondering why. Why was I banned to begin with? The situation that had happened was supposed to be only dealt with Savvy and Steve, and possibly you and I, to have a conversation about, and I put it requested. I did enjoy your content at the time, but that stream showed me how scummy you really were. With most of the time you were saying spicy tea in the end, really just showed me how high school you are. Extremely immature. That the fact that you exploited the situation to benefit you, in all honesty, I forgot that was even written to begin with. The entire stream, you had just kept mentioning about the spicy tea that was coming up. Like, this is what everyone's been waiting for. Even before my unbanned request came up, I watched as you bashed people whose first language wasn't even English, to the people who also enjoyed your content, and to the people who were just trying to reach out to someone that had blocked them. You added things that was never supposed to be there to start. I was supposed to do art for you. Yes. I promised some samples. Yes. Did I ghost you? No, I didn't ghost you. I had work for you and forgot, honestly. About a month had passed after that, and I realized that I'd never finished or messaged you about it. Out of the curiosity, I messaged you, OMG, it slipped my mind, to where you mentioned, it's fine, I found a new artist, blah, blah, blah. But notice how I wrote to you, though. That isn't ghosting. Your definition of ghosting would be if you reached out and I never responded. That's ghosting. You have buttons on your end, too. You could have messages. You could have had messaged, hey, how's it going? How's the art coming? But you didn't. And that's okay. You moved on with your project. Good for you. But don't turn your community like that, like as if I never responded to you. And don't turn them to paint me like an evil bitch. If you're gonna do it right. Now, after what had felt like a month had went by, or about a month, I had reached out to you, kind of curious of if you still wanted my art, honestly. I had messaged out to you after, I don't know, I had reached out to you and mentioned, sorry, it's been a while, about mental health, honestly. And I also had mentioned about Becca. You had told everyone that I told you to block her. I didn't. I said she seemed pretty lovely, but she became very toxic, which I'll go into more in a bit. I just said, we had some issues. That was pretty fucking obvious. But I had reached out to you and you answered. And honestly, you had a very nice answer. I appreciate that. Oh, I did appreciate this answer. But don't try to paint me as a villain for something that was easily fixed. I don't know. You're just gonna suck. No, since we did mention about Becca, I'm gonna mention Becca again. Hello, Becca. Or as you want to be known now as Gothic Libra. Sure. You had caused a lot of drama in the community and you decided to ghost us. That's actual ghosting. You had blocked everyone in the community, my community, that was there for you. I had mentioned that she had left the community very toxic. We had a lot of issues with her and mine. I was trying to be there for a friend, try to be there emotionally for her. And she kind of let us all down. Do not post things you don't wish to be mentioned. You had your issues with B-Reg. When we talked about it, we were honest in our conversations. We handled it, and I think we handled it pretty well. Versus your choice, you decided to leave and block anyone who cared about you. I was there for you when Mr. Hollow's streams were up, when you vented about you were bullied in another streamer's stream, and their mods had came after you. You said they had bullied you into leaving. I carried you in my streams, where we made Minecraft Monday, so you can play with people, and where you can feel comfortable. We helped you through your problems. We were there for you to vent and talk it through. I had tried my best to make it a safe place for you, and you considered us family. Now, you had your issues with B-Regs for the jokes that she made, and her brutal honesty. You DM'd us about B-Reg without talking to B-Reg about it, which always bothered me. Always bothered everybody. We talked about it all together, and that was the last I heard from you in a while. You left crying. I checked in on you after about a week to make sure you were okay. I was worried about your mental health. I was worried about you in general. You jumped in and out of the Discord and expected everything was to be okay. You had continued to make things about yourself. If somebody's status was something weird, you assumed it was about you, which it wasn't. You left without speaking to anyone who helped you, and you just blocked them from even trying to reach out. So I don't know what you expected from that. I found out recently that you popped into Mr. Hollow's stream, and I can't lie, that was the biggest laugh I had in years. The attention was no longer on you, so you decided to go back. It's funny, actually. You made a lot of things about you. Even when the people in the community had severe seizures and mentioned about that. Something that they should have been comfort for. Ensure they were okay. You were so quick to turn it for yourself. You ignored their message so quickly and talked about you. And the fact that it wasn't your first time. Anytime somebody tried to talk, anytime somebody was trying to mention or get my attention, you were number one to try to grasp it. We told you multiple times how annoying that was. We talked to you how we can avoid the situations, and yet it continued to happen. Now you decided to go Mr. Hollow stream. It was a funny thought. You went back to a community after being extremely uncomfortable with the thought of them, and yet there you were, looking for more attention. I hope you got it now. Don't bother coming to my streams. Don't bother coming back into the community. I don't care. All that I have said, all that I need to have said is over. Have a great night.
Fuck your life! Bing bong!